Today I'm writing a sales page for a sales page framework guide. This is what we've been building for the past 3 episodes. We've built the funnel, the structure, the main front-end offer, and today we start building the sales page, which is our selling asset. I'm going to show you step by step how I think, how I put it together, and the final result. So if you're with me, let's get started. Here we are. Today we start writing sales copy. And all of the work that we've done in the previous episodes is going to inform all of the things that I'm going to do today. Now, let's have a look at what we've done last time. This is the offer that we put together. This is the front end offer. We have a product name, a headline, and the list of features. We've got 3 features. This is what I call the glorious offer. And it's the summary of what it is, what it does, and what's included. And I always start a sales page with what's obvious, it's what's already clear, my glorious offer. So if I switch to my sales page template now, which is basically what I'm selling here, you get a preview. I've got so many sections here. And we start with the hero section, was the first thing that people see when they load the page. And then we start analyzing the problem, solution, belief, report. There's so many things that require lots of brain. We don't want to start with the brainy stuff. We want to start with something that we are already incredibly clear on, our glorious offer. So first thing I do, I'm going to copy all of my offer information that we came up with into my glorious offer. Let's start with the product name, the sales page fix. I'm not going to care about style here or graphics. This is just for me to have some sales copy in the right place. Great. The glorious offer section is going to be a section with an image mockup of what the offer is going to include in terms of graphics. We want to productize a digital product so that we can make it tangible. But also we want to have everything into one single section so that people, when they think, what am I going to get if I give this person money? It's all in there. They don't have to scroll up or scroll down. So this section includes everything that's in it in a very summarized version. And I think I'm already pretty happy with it. Probably underneath this is going to be a CTA with get your sales page fix now, or get access to. Actually, get immediate access could be a call to action. I'm going to bracket it so I know it's a call to action. One section done. Now the next section, it's fairly easy. I like to start from the glorious offer and go all the way down the page because half of this sales page will write itself because we already know what it is. In the feature and benefits, what I like to do is to unpack with more detail what's inside each of the features so that I can explain a bit more what people get in terms of deliverables, tangible deliverables, and the benefits they would get once they get access to it. We have 3 features. We can have 3 of these feature sections. I'm going to start with the first one and see what comes up. I'm going to copy and paste it here. Okay, so the first element is a template. Let me see if I can explain with different words what the template is going to help them do. I just finished writing the first feature, which is the sales page template. Instead of just saying what practically is, I'm thinking about the main problem that my audience, my people have when it comes to copywriting. So this is what comes up for me. I just wrote it as it came to me. This is the intention and the emotion behind what I want to communicate. Writing sales copy is not natural for many of us coaches and consultants. We shine helping people, not necessarily selling to them. Most of us are not natural writers, and writing persuasive copy often forces us to become a version of ourselves we don't enjoy. This template is your little helper to break down each of the crucial elements of a sales page that sounds and sells like you. This is not a list of dark copywriting secrets. This is a guide put together for you to gain clarity on how to extract your voice and use it to write words that will make your audience feel like they need to get access to your product or services. This is the general feeling that I want to paint a picture of the problem and how this product is going to fix it practically and how it's going to make them feel. Before we move forward with the sales page, I wanted to ask you if your business feels heavy right now in the way that maybe you don't get enough leads, maybe it's your offer that you're not quite confident in, maybe it's your architecture that is draining you because it's too much to deliver to your clients. And a way to self diagnose your business is taking a quiz that I put together to self identify which of the three main elements of a business may be an area where you want to look into to simplify and get rid of the problems. It's either your offer, your audience, or your architecture. And the quiz will tell you exactly which of these three you might want to look into and giving you some tips on the first thing to do. If you want to play around with it, the link is in the description box below. Let's go with feature number 2. This is a step-by-step email course. Great. Let me see what comes up. Okay, this is what came up. How many times did you get a template and got stuck after 10 minutes of using it? It happens to anyone, but not this time. You'll receive a 10-day email course to help you write one section of your sales page at a time. We are not here to rush a performative sales page that sounds needy. The goal is to write a letter to your friend in need of your services with no overwhelm and no writer's block. That's it. I mean, there's no need to overstuff this. It's clear enough. It's got the right sentiment. I feel good about it because I know how helpful it is. Let's move on. Here's my last feature, your personalized sales copy GPT. Let me see what comes up when I think about this feature. Your personalized GPT is a tool that I build to extract your stories and your method so that you know exactly what to write in a sales page. So I need to convey that value in a way that makes sense for them. So the first thing that comes to mind is like why people get stuck in sales copy. It's because they feel like they need to act as they are somebody else, somebody that can sell, and that I feel is weird and wrong. So this is something that I want to address immediately when explaining this feature. Even the most introverted person can't stop talking about what they're passionate about. That energy comes from clarity around our story, our method, and how we can help others. This trained GPT will help you uncover your key stories to connect with your audience emotionally while clarifying your method and your values using a language that will satisfy them logically too. I'm implying that logic and emotion are the two elements that we need to really make a sale, and the ChatGPT is the solution for that. Now we have a guarantee. I'm going to just copy and paste this section because I've already written it and I'm happy with it. We said we don't have any bonuses because it's a $9 product. So I'm going to remove this. Urgency and scarcity is not going to be any of that because it's not a program. We don't have a set date. We don't have specific spots. Now we want to take care of the FAQs. Something that comes up in my head is like the obvious one. How do I access the tools, what it's included? Like the FAQs, you never underestimate the power of what you take for granted. Like you take for granted everything that's going on, like how people receive the tools, but people might think, well, I don't know how actually I'm gonna receive the tools. Like silly things like that, write them down in the FAQs because that also sells, because you are removing all of the simple objections that they might have. Remember, even if it's a $9 product, people will not buy if they think that there's going to be some friction or some problems in them getting to the solution of what you are promising. Something like, in my case, how am I going to receive the guide and resources? So here I'm going to explain exactly how. It's going to be via email. They're going to get access to some kind of a members area or stuff like that, just to make sure they understand how it works. And I want them to picture themselves doing it and accessing without any struggle or any problem. Or maybe like, does this product expire? You'll never believe how many times we hear people asking this question. We take it for granted. You pay it and you have it forever. But people think that the products may run out or they lose access to it. So I just want to make sure they understand they won't. Is this sales page template good regardless of which web platform I use to host my products? Yes, I mean this is a valid question. Like, is it a template that I can use only on Kajabi or ClickFunnels or whatever? Some people might ask that, so I just want to make sure that yes, this is a generalized sales page framework that they can use in whatever platform. I've never written a sales page in my life. Is this for me? I want to explain to people that this is for them because it doesn't require previous skills to write a sales page. Actually, this is the reason why people would download something like this, because they may not want to hire an expensive copywriter. So think about your FAQs as another avenue where people would just go and look for the is this for me kind of question. This is a very powerful section if you really think about what your people might think when they read your sales page. Now, the close is the last section of the sales page. At the moment, since I haven't written the beginning part of the sales page, I'm still not familiar with the tone that I'm going for the sales page. So I'm gonna leave this section alone and move above on other sections to see what comes up. Half the sales page is kind of done because I've put down the glorious offer and unpacked all the benefits, the guarantee, and the FAQs. This is literally half the sales page. But now what we want to look into is um, the emotional and logical sides of the brain. People buy because of emotions and they justify it with logic. So we need to tackle in a sales page both aspects. The way you do it is also the reason why I've included a chat GPT that to unpack all the lessons from your head. It's because we need to add an element of relatability by sharing our story, but also credibility by sharing our method and why that is better or why that's amazing. And these are all the sections that we need to convey that message. But they're broken down in a way that we only have to think about one slice at a time. So instead of going from the hero section, which is the last thing I'm going to be doing, because that's literally the most important section of the whole sales page, given that is the section that 100% of people will see. But as soon as they start scrolling, I want to hook them with something that comes from my marketing research. Like, what is the problem? They believe that the sales page is an element that is not working in their funnel or in their system. So I want to address that problem. And I need to think not as a coach, but I need to think like I'm in their shoes. What would they experience this problem? How would they wake up in the morning on Monday and think, gosh, the sales page sucks. I have no idea how to fix it because it's not bringing in any sales or very few sales, and they don't want to hire an expensive copywriter. So I need to think through this problem to really connect with my audience regarding this specific product. So I'm going to have a think and write something down and then unpack it later on. All right. This is again stuff that I will massage in place with ChatGPTs once I'm done. But first, I want to put down the main emotion behind what I want to say. Now, in this section, I want to talk about the problem. The problem is, in my opinion, lack of clarity. And it's not a template, but the template is the antidote for the lack of clarity as well. So here's what came up for me. See if it resonates with you. Isn't it frustrating when you know your offer is great, the price is right, the product itself produces results, but sales are just not at the level you want? There are many factors that can cause low sales, and one of those is your sales page. This is especially true if your content is not doing much of the pre selling for you because you're unclear on your story, method, and your value proposition. In that case, your sales page needs to do all of the heavy lifting. And if you're not able to connect with your audience emotionally and logically, sales will always stay low. So the idea here is that I want to point out, like, shed light to the real problem and also to the fact that the sales page, due to their lack of connecting emotionally and logically, is not going to produce sales. So I'm already creating the enemy that is really there, actually, because if you don't know how to do that on writing, people will not perceive the value of what you're selling. So this is my problem for now. I might change things around, but I'm happy with the villain of the story right now. Now let's bridge it to the solution. Okay, so this is where the solution becomes apparent. I want to install a new belief, which I strongly believe in this belief. That you don't have to become a professional copywriter because that's not your job. I mean, it's part of the skill sets that you need to have, but there is a way of writing without having to learn persuasion. I feel that we write the best sales copy when we are passionate and clear about us, our story, our method. So what I want to introduce as a solution is not a magic trick. It's more like an attitude, a switch in mindset that anyone can apply. So this is what I wrote for the solution piece. You are not a pro copywriter. You just want to help people. And when you write your sales page, they're usually an afterthought. But guess what? There's If there's no energy in your sales copy, there's no value exchange, nor not to mention money exchange. You don't need a copywriting course because your best sales copy lives inside your head around three important elements: your story, your method, your values. So instead of trying to come up with copy to make some sales, you should write words to connect and express your value to the very people you want to help. But you won't help anyone if your sales page doesn't convert. So here I've portrayed the problem up here. I am showing them a solution that is attainable to anyone because it's not a magic trick or a very difficult skill for anybody. It's more like a change of mindset. Now I need to make sure they believe that with some proof. This is the belief section. And that's where I need to come up with something that is logical, that makes sense. Let me think about that now. Okay, in this section, I want them to believe that it's not their skills in copywriting that make their sales page not convert, but it's their energy. And I want that because I want them to stop believing that they need to become this professional copywriter to write copy that connects with people. And this is my philosophy. I truly believe that. I embody it, and I tell all my clients about it. So this is my the way that I described what I just said in the belief section. My approach to sales copywriting is simple. It's not what you write that sells, it's the energy behind the writing. When we are not clear on what people want, why they should listen to us, and how our product can help them, we end up stuck in front of a blank page, actively procrastinating on Instagram, checking what our competitors are doing with the excuse of looking for inspiration. But that leaves us even more creatively depleted. When instead we know what stories matter to our audience, the clear steps of our method, and exactly how that can fix their problem, your energy shifts and the sales page writes itself. This is for me the perfect transition to now our story because I now acknowledge the problem. I switch the belief that it's not their lack of copywriting skills, is the lack of clarity, and also a different approach on the energy behind the writing as well. Now I want to share a little bit of my story so that I can connect with them emotionally as well after I change that belief, and also transition into introducing the solution to all the problem above. This is, as you can see, almost done. I just need to connect a couple of sections and our sales page is almost done. This is how easy it is with our template. By the way, if you want the template, I'm probably gonna put the link of the final funnel underneath this video as well. So keep an eye on that too. Rapport. Let's write a little bit of my story, something that makes sense for my audience, specifically with this product. Okay, so this is the story piece that I needed. And again, this might change a little bit in the future. I just want to drop on paper what I feel like. It's a little bit of a story that makes sense for this product as well. Of course, it's not a made up story, it's an actual real story, but this is specifically for this product. It's about selling and sales pages. And here's what I came up with. Hi, Jacopo here. You may know me as I'm the co-founder of Lazy Dancer Tips, a YouTube channel with more than 230,000 subscribers that has sold more than $1 million in digital products. Alessia, my wife, and I were not marketers. She was a professional ballet dancer and teacher, and I was a visual effects artist. When we launched our first membership, despite having thousands of subscribers on YouTube, we struggled to get our first 50 paying members at $9 a month. And our self standing products, it didn't matter how good the products were, sales were always low, and we couldn't figure out why. We were serving an audience for free, but without knowing how to convey the value of the amazing paid products we built with blood, sweat, and tears. We felt lost. Over the years, we learned marketing, tried every strategy out there, hired expensive agencies and professional copywriters, only to realize that there wasn't a magic trick or secret words to use to make people buy. And this brings me into the transition into the offer. After having sold thousands of products online with simple sales pages that connect with our audience emotionally and logically, we distilled down our style into a structure that produces results for us over and over again for years. Introducing the sales page fix. And the sales page is basically written. Now, the only thing that remains is the hero section and the close section. I'm going to start writing something for the close because I already have a tone for the problem, solution, and belief. So I can maybe think about something nice, simple, and sweet, but punchy to have at the end of the page to get people to say, yes, I mean, it's just $9. This sounds amazing. It's irresistible. I want in. Okay, so this is for now my close. Probably it's a little bit too long. We'll probably reduce it later on. If you're tired of staring at a blank page, feeling like you're wasting your time writing another sales page that won't convert, why don't you just use the framework we have used over and over again to make thousands of sales? You don't need to become a professional copywriter. You just need to write in a way that your audience feels understood. Sorry, that your audience feels heard, understood, and invited to take the next obvious step, buying your product and services. Get access to the sales page fix now. Nice and simple. This is just the thing that needs to do, like one paragraph, one short paragraph to make people in a situation where they have to make a decision. Otherwise, they'll click the page, they close the page, and go somewhere else to buy maybe another product to fix this problem. Maybe hiring a professional copywriter, giving them thousands of pounds when there's something that they can really extract their stuff with their trained GPT and write it in half an hour, 1 hour, and they have a sales page that's really powerful. So, what I want to write here is like out of the passion that I have for people to really take this product seriously. This is how you not become salesy, because when you believe in what you're selling in the way that people need it, that's the energy that I'm talking about. That's when you want people to really feel like what they need is what you have, with passion and integrity, without becoming a sleazy used car salesperson. Now, the only section that I need to write is my hero section. Okay, after jamming with ChatGPT and going back and forth with ideas, I think we found something that it's a good compromise. Again, the hero section is the most important section of the page. So this has got to be the essence of everything that you are selling. So this is what I came up with. Your best sales copy is already in your head. You don't need to become a copywriter. You just need a clear structure, some prompts to get unstuck, and a way to put your voice into words that resonates and converts. Access the sales page fix. That's it. This is the first thing that people will see when they land on a page. We'll try our best to inform people about why this product is valuable. We touch upon the problem that they're living right now. We tell them that the solution is not what they think, but it's a belief shifts. And then we tell a little bit about what really is, to me, the solution and how we know it, meaning telling our story. That's the section over here. Then we transition into introducing the solution. And then we unpack the solution bit by bit so that every feature is covered. We tell them that there is a no guarantee, and by doing that we filter out all of the wrong people, very crucial. We answer the questions they might have, and at the end we invite them to make a decision. This is what a sales page should do. Now, this is not the only way to write a sales page. This is the way that we found is the easiest way. Frankly, every time I have to write a sales page, I start from this. Sometimes I write whatever I have in my mind and refine it later. But if you are stuck in copywriting, this is a structure that you can use so that at least you've got a starting point. And I feel like the more you start overthinking your copy, the more your copy will sound like a marketer. And I want your copy to sound like you as much as possible. We've done with the sales copy. Now the next step is going to be actually building it in Kajabi, and is going to be in our next episode, which as soon as is available, I'm going to link in the video right here.